Hello, Herman Deal, the real deal here. Today I'm going to talk about, again, going back to the last post that I did on fat, that we shouldn't eat protein without fat. I'm going to talk in particular about Oikos brand of yogurt, which markets itself 16 grams of yogurt, zero fat, zero sugar. So they market it like 000, triple zero, and no milk fat, just 16 grams of protein. Why? Well, because they know that people still think that fat is bad. Unfortunately, people still think that. And companies that want to sell you food are going to market it appropriately so they could sell more product. It's as simple as that. And I don't know why people still think that animal fat is bad, but hmm, let me sh- let me share why. Yeah, it all started way back 1961. Time magazine talks about Ansel Keys and how he made the connection between animal fat and heart disease. That animal fat um, is bad for you, causes heart disease. He did the 7 country study. This is what started the idea that animal fat is bad, despite the fact that animal fat is probably the healthiest thing you could eat. It's probably the best thing you could eat, yet he was saying it was bad, and we believed it like idiots. And medicine, of course, took advantage of this and made drugs that lower cholesterol. They tried to connect cholesterol with an indicator for heart disease, which is very controversial now. And a lot of people can have high cholesterol and not have any heart disease at all. In fact, I'm one of those people, hyporesponders, where my cholesterol goes up, but I'm still very healthy in terms of cardiovascular health. But in any case, we linked cholesterol with heart disease, and so that we could sell drugs to lower cholesterol, the statin drugs, which has been one of the best selling drugs ever. And yet, you would think we should know better, because in 2014, June 23rd of 2014, Time came out with this cover saying that we should eat butter, that this idea that animal fat was bad is probably wrong. Scientists labeled fat the enemy. Why? They were wrong. We should know better. Yet we got so brainwashed into thinking that fat is bad. And perhaps it's because there's something with the word fat that makes people just think it's bad. Even though I call my newsletter Subconscious Fat. Well, this is subconscious fat, that you think fat is bad because you've been taught so since you were a little kid, because your parents always thought fat is bad. Eat the chicken without the skin. Fat is bad. And we're wrong about that. We're totally, totally wrong. So, what happens when we eat food with fat and protein? Well, your body produces a hormone called cholecystokinin. I think I pronounced that right. CCK for short. This activates the gallbladder to release bile. Bile helps digest fat. It slows digestion down. It increases satiety. So this is very similar and is part of the GLP-1 pathway. This is why, like I've said before, the GLP-1 drugs just mimic a natural diet, and they do. They mimic it. They copy it. They're copycats. Cholecystokinin slows digestion down. You feel really full. If you eat protein alone, you'll feel full, but not completely full. When you eat the protein with the fat, you really feel full and you stay fuller for longer. Satiety will last longer. So when this happens naturally, this is what you want. You want this all to be natural. You want to eat the fat with the protein. And if you don't eat the fat with the protein, you get issues like diarrhea, fatigue. You're just not healthy. And when you reintroduce the fat, all those symptoms go away. This has been proven scientifically. And it's why we need fat when we eat food. We need the protein with the fat. When you eat too much protein without the fat, you can get literally a thing called protein poisoning or rabbit starvation. Not sure why they call it that, but these are the things that happen when you eat too much protein without the fat. We got this Oikos blended Greek yogurt, 16 grams of protein. This is fantastic, more protein, but these guys advertise like 000. They advertise no fat, so only 6 grams of carbohydrates. They have a lot of protein, which is good. Total fat, 0, which is not good. Added sugar, 0. Total sugar, 6. There's always a little bit of sugar with yogurt, but still very little, way more protein. So that's good, but we're gonna fix this, okay? Because this is not ideal to only eat protein without the fat. So the way to fix this is I'm gonna put some goat cheese into this. Goat cheese or feta cheese, any type of cheese. It has fat. So I'm going to make this better. Put some goat cheese in here. Get some fat in there. Then to add flavor and less inflammation in the body, cinnamon is a very good thing. And then last, a few blueberries. Just a few. This, by the way, is how much fruit I will eat in one day. This little bit. This little bit of blueberries is all the fruit I will eat in a day, because people eat way more fruit than they should. And you shouldn't eat so much fruit because fruit also has sugar. Okay, so there you go. Now we've made the 16 grams of protein. We're getting 16 grams. We put some fat in it. This is now much better than just eating the protein without the fat. So that's how you make eating Oikos brand yogurt healthier for you, by adding goat cheese, any type of cheese, feta cheese. Now, this feta cheese is from Greece, and it's not broken up into little pieces, this particular feta cheese. And it has like a lot of water around it, salty water. I didn't like it as much as some of the other feta cheeses I've tried, but I'm a sucker for goat cheese. I freaking love goat cheese. I just absolutely do. So for me, it's nice to have some variety, to switch from feta to goat, but I prefer goat cheese with the yogurt. Excellent. You add that fat, it's healthier. Another option, obviously, is you can add an avocado. I will often eat my yogurt, especially if I'm eating Oikos, and I know that I don't have a lot of fat. I add the cheese, but then I also eat an avocado. Remember, avocado is the one rare fruit that has more fat than carbohydrates. Unlike virtually any other fruit that I know of, avocados are keto friendly, carnivore friendly, in that it's more fat than carbohydrates or sugar. So that's another option. You know, don't let these marketing companies control you. Don't be a fool. You now know better. You know better. Act on it. Don't just fall for the low fat marketing out there. And tell others, tell your family and friends, get into conversations, refer them to me, tell them to subscribe to my newsletter, or follow me on Instagram or Facebook, LinkedIn, you know, because this is important. We got to change the consciousness. We got to reveal this subconscious fat that people still think that fat is bad. So be out there telling others, and be smarter yourself. Don't fall for the marketing. And when you do, you know, because I get it. When I went and bought these, they didn't have a lot of options, you know, depending what store you're in. This was the only Oikos one that they had. They have different flavors, but this was the only one that this particular store had. And I didn't see a lot of other good yogurt options. So I went with this because of the high protein, but then you fix the problem. You make it better. In any case, I hope this is helpful. Thank you for watching. I'll be back next Monday with another video, and Thursday with Mr. Skeptical. Bye.